I have been raving for 13 years. Right now it is April of 2025 and I started raving in March of 2012. So I thought it would be fun to take a walk down memory lane over these last 13 years and just look at different pivotal moments in my rave journey. What I wore 13 years ago even to now has just changed so drastically. First 4 years of raving, it was tutus and sparkly bras. I would make a different bra for every single festival, every day of the event. So if I was going to a 3-day festival, I would make 3 different rave bras for that event. And if I didn't want to make a tutu, I would make my own skirt. So I just got in the habit of making all my own stuff and candy cups. So I was very much a candy kid my first 4 years of raving, and like my candy would match the exact colors of the outfits that I was making too. So it was just really fun growing up in that era of the tutus and rave bras. Like I love it so much. Now I wear a lot more of like crop tops and skirts and bodysuits and boots. Definitely no more of like the tutus or rave bras, but it was a fun thing to do while it lasted. The very first event I went to was March of 2012, and it was called Ultimate Music Experience in South Padre Island, Texas. Now they don't have it anymore, and I don't have any evidence of me being at this festival. And it was just a different time back then in 2012. Like Instagram was just coming about and not everybody had iPhones. Like people were still walking around with digital cameras. My first event, I had no idea what I was going to. I went because I had other friends that were going, and my world just changed forever at that point. I'm gonna put a lineup here. So I only went to 2 of the 3 days of this festival. So a lot of you may notice that Avicii's on this lineup. Well, I actually didn't see Avicii. I looked back at the day-by-day lineups and he played on Saturday, and that's the day I didn't go. But I did get to see Skrillex, like Cinema. If you remember Cinema is the reason why I even started to like EDM in the first place. Also at this festival is the first time I ever saw shuffling, and I didn't even know what it was called. I just saw people dancing around, and to me it looked like rave stomping. So that's what I used to call shuffling, was rave stomping. So the moment that I saw shuffling, I've always wanted to shuffle, so that's where shuffling was born for me. My second festival was then in September of 2012. It was called Sun City Music Festival, held in El Paso, Texas. Now this one went on for a few years, but it is no longer a thing anymore. And I do have one picture. Here is also the lineup for that. So I had 2 pretty good solid music festivals. And my third festival was EDC Vegas in May, or at the time it was still in June of 2013. And this is the first piece of merch that I ever bought. Las Vegas 2013. Like, it is just so cool. I'm gonna keep this forever. So that was my first EDC, and that truly just like unlocked a whole different world for me. Like, I already knew that I liked raving from the first 2 events that I went to, but experiencing EDC in 2013, like at the time you didn't know how monumental that was, and I'm just so grateful. And then I ended up going to EDC 2014 and 2015, and then it took a long break after that. But 2015 is when I really started going around the States, and that was cool to be able to travel to places outside of Texas other than EDC. So growing up in Texas, I had Disco Donnie events to go to. I liked those festivals. Yes, they're not Insomniac level festivals with production and all of that, but they always had pretty solid lineups, and I had no complaints going to these Disco Donnie festivals. So predominantly raved inside of Texas other than going to EDC, but I would say in 2015 is when I actually started traveling around the United States more to go to festivals. So like going to EDC Orlando, EDC New York, Decadence in Colorado. I went to Beyond Wonderland in California. Throughout that whole time, I had a boyfriend, and him and I broke up in 2017. So in 2018 is when I went to my first festival solo, and that just opened up a whole new world for me and just really shifted the way that I raved and the type of people that I was raving with. And being able to do something alone just made me so proud, made me feel so good and so confident. So the very first festival I ever went to solo was Shaky Beats in 2018, and it was in Atlanta. Now Shaky Beats is no longer a festival. I made friends there, being there the first 20 minutes of the festival, and it just really just opened up a whole new side of ravings to me. Like, okay, I can do this. Because after me and my ex broke up, like we'd raved together for 4.5 years. I was like, how am I ever gonna do this again? It just felt so good to be able to do that on my own and make my own friends and be like, you got this, girl. Like, don't give up the music you love or the scene that you love just because you don't have somebody by your hip to do it with. So I'm glad that I took the leap and went to my first festival, and I've been to countless festivals by myself ever since. In 2019 was my very first international festival. I went to EDC Japan, and again, a whole new world of raving was unlocked. I know I keep saying that throughout different things. That's what this is. That's what this video is just looking back over my times in raving and how my life and how my rave style has evolved and changed. And I just like being able to look back and see all these pivotal moments, because they truly are. Like, going to an international festival just really opened up my eyes. Like, I started traveling the world in 2017, and I just wanted to keep traveling. I just wanted to keep seeing the world. And so I was like, how do I incorporate both? And so I started going to international music festivals. And since then, I've been to festivals in Latin America, festivals in Asia, festivals in Europe. Like, I love it. I love going to international music festivals. 2022 was another pivotal moment in my rave career, and that's when I've met most of my rave soulmates, my rave best friends, and it's all because of social media, specifically TikTok. I mentioned that I had a boyfriend for a brief period of time, and then I started going to festivals with myself. I've had friends in Texas that I grew up with that wanted to go to festivals but didn't, and they just kind of grew out of it. So for a while I was just like in a weird period of just going to things by myself and meeting people as I went to these things. But in 2022, when I was on TikTok going to these events, and so was everybody else, like, we all came together. And that year is where I met the friends that I still have today. Truly some of my best friends in this world I met from TikTok, and that we've been raving together, and we go to festivals in other countries or in other states. We come together, and I am just so grateful for Rave Talk specifically, because these are truly some of my best friends that I never would have had otherwise. And now we are in 2025. So what is rave life like for me? Now, I started raving in 2013, so that means I was 23 at the time, and I am now 35. So like, what does rave life look for me as a 35-year-old? I'm still very much raving. I still have the will, I still have the drive, and I still want to be out there. I still love the music, I still love the scene. I'm still out there raving. I'm still going to 3-day festivals. I'm still staying up all night and doing all the things, but raving looks a lot different for me now than it used to. I'm prioritizing more international festivals. Like, I just want to keep dancing across the globe, one festival at a time. That's where my priorities have shifted, and I don't feel the need to keep repeating festivals or making sure that I have a festival to go to every single month. Like, that's what I used to do. I used to go to 10, 12 festivals a year, and I would go to one every single month, and there would be some that even would repeat. Like, at this point, I've done EDC 5 times. I do not need to go to EDC Vegas again, or EDC Orlando did that 4 times. I only want to experience new festivals inside the US. Like, I predominantly want to keep traveling outside of the US for festivals, but if it's a US festival, it's one I've never been to. And if I do repeat festivals in the US, it's because I'm already living in the city, right? So like, I went to Ultra 3 years in a row, and I lived in Miami because I was living in Miami. Like, that's a given. I'm living in Austin right now. I didn't go to Ultra this past year because I'm not living there, right? So I don't want to repeat any festivals unless it's in the city that I'm already living. My goal is also just to keep making content. I have only been making YouTube content on my festival experience since 2022. Up until then, I didn't. I would just get some footage here and there and post it on Instagram. And then once TikTok started, I really kind of tried to put more content on there. But yeah, on YouTube, this really didn't start until Ultra of 2022, and I've been super consistent these past 3 years, so I definitely want to keep this up. I love making content and showing you guys the ins and outs of festivals, especially like the international ones that people dream of going to someday, or even how to do things alone, because I still do a lot of things by myself. And so that's what I want to here to show you guys, is how to do stuff by yourself, or these festivals that you've never been to, and how much they cost and what they're like, the ins and outs and all of that. So definitely want to keep posting YouTube content around my festival and travel experience, and overall just keep dancing and vibing and enjoying my time. I love the music, I love the scene, I love the people, I love the community, and I love the experiences that I get when I attend these music festivals inside or outside of the United States. So if you've been a part of this journey at some point over these last 13 years, thank you for being here. It's been a lot of fun. I'm grateful for everything and everybody that I have experienced, and at this point I have no end in sight. I don't feel like I'm 35. Next 5 years I should retire from raving. I don't know. That doesn't feel like that's on my heart, but we'll see what's happening. All I know is I just want to keep dancing across the globe, one festival at a time, and taking you guys along with me through my content. So thank you guys for watching, and the next couple of videos are going to be ramping up for festival season, what I do during my off season. I haven't been to a festival since August of 2024. My festival season's about to start at the end of April and in May, so we're ramping up, so lots of content to do to prepare for these festivals, and I'll see you guys in the next video.